when two souls think of each other at the same moment. 10 unmistakable signs. When two souls are destined to meet, even the laws of time and space cannot keep them apart. Have you ever thought of someone so intensely, only to receive a message from them moments later? Or felt a sudden wave of emotion you couldn't explain until you learned they were going through something at that very moment? Carl Jung called this mysterious phenomenon synchronicity, a bridge between minds, hearts, and even souls. Today, on Spiritual Wisdom, we'll explore 10 powerful signs that you and someone else are thinking of each other at the exact same time. As you listen, notice which signs resonate with your own life and share your experiences in the comments. Who knows? Your story might just be the sign someone else has been waiting for. 1. Synchronicity is the key concept. Carl Jung believed that what we often call coincidences are in fact the secret language of the soul, moments when life arranges itself in ways too precise to be explained by chance. These meaningful coincidences, which he called synchronicity, reveal an unseen emotional or spiritual thread connecting two people. When two souls share a profound bond, their inner worlds begin to mirror one another, allowing thoughts, emotions, and even life events to align in ways that seem almost supernatural. It is as though they are tuned to the same frequency, vibrating in harmony regardless of time or distance. You might be going about your day when, without reason, a vivid thought of this person rises in your mind, and at that very moment, they reach out to you. Or perhaps you feel a sudden heaviness in your heart, only to later discover they were facing something painful at the exact same time. This connection isn't bound by logic. It is an exchange that flows beneath conscious awareness, an invisible current carrying signals between two hearts. Jung saw this not as a mysterious accident, but as proof that the soul moves beyond the limits of the physical world, operating in a dimension where space and time bend to the depth of human connection. It is like two radios perfectly tuned to the same station. When one plays a song, the other receives it instantly. Such alignment of thought and feeling is not simply sentimental. It is a reflection of a bond so deep that even the unconscious mind participates, sending and receiving messages in a way the conscious mind cannot fully comprehend. These moments of synchronicity are invitations to trust that there are forces in life working quietly yet powerfully to weave certain souls together, guiding them toward shared understanding and mutual awareness. When two souls think of each other at the same moment, it is more than an accident of timing. It is the unfolding of a silent dialogue between spirits, a reminder that some connections are etched into the very fabric of reality, and that the invisible world often speaks louder than words ever could. If you believe in the power of synchronicity and the deep connection between souls, repeat after me. I am open to this soul connection. It is meant for me today, and I trust it completely. 2. The collective unconscious connects you. Carl Jung described the collective unconscious as a vast, invisible network of shared symbols, emotions, and archetypes that connect every human being at a level deeper than personal memory. When two people share a strong emotional bond, they can naturally tune in to the same frequency within this shared field, creating moments where thoughts and feelings arise in both of them at the exact same time. This is why you might suddenly think of someone and later find out they were thinking of you too. or feel an unexplainable wave of sadness only to discover they were going through something difficult at that moment. Jung called these experiences synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that reveal hidden connections and the language of the soul. It's like being tuned to the same emotional radio station. No matter the physical distance, the bond allows your inner worlds to resonate together. A man once told the story of how, after months without speaking to his sister, he was suddenly gripped by an intense need to call her, accompanied by a deep sense of unease. When she answered, she was crying, having just gone through a painful breakup, and had been longing for his comfort. Without any direct communication, something within him had responded to her silent call. For Jung, such moments are not accidents, but proof of the unseen threads that weave human lives together. In our modern world, these experiences are often dismissed as intuition or gut feelings. But Jung would argue they are the unconscious mind receiving signals from the collective unconscious and processing them before the conscious mind even notices. Between two people bound by love, trust, or shared history, this pathway becomes stronger, allowing emotions, impressions, and even specific thoughts to travel without words. It's why you might reach for your phone to send a message just as the other person is typing one to you, or why their mood is obvious to you before they even speak. These connections transcend time zones, physical distance, and the noise of everyday life. They are not powered by technology, but by emotional depth and the shared experiences that strengthen the invisible cord between souls. In understanding this, as Carl Jung taught, you begin to notice the quiet signals that can guide you to act with empathy and presence. A heavy feeling in your chest, a sudden urge to reach out, or an unexpected surge of joy could be your inner self answering a call from someone you care about. Relationships are shaped not only by the words we exchange, but also by these silent exchanges in the unseen realm of the psyche. Each shared thought or mirrored feeling is a reminder of how deeply connected we truly are. By trusting these moments and honoring their meaning, you strengthen the invisible bridge between souls, allowing it to carry comfort, understanding, and love in ways the rational mind can never fully explain. If you've ever felt this deep soul connection, where thoughts align beyond time and space, comment below. I am tuned in to our shared frequency. Let the universe know you are ready to embrace this connection fully. 3. Energetic shifts without obvious cause. You could be going about your day as usual when suddenly, without warning, a rush of joy floods your chest. A wave of longing stirs your heart, or an inexplicable restlessness grips you. These feelings may arrive without any logical cause, yet they carry a certain intensity that you cannot ignore. In moments like this, you may be experiencing more than just a random mood swing. You could be sensing another person's emotional energy in real time. Carl Jung believed such moments were not accidents, but examples of synchronicity, a spiritual language through which the soul communicates across invisible distances. You might not hear their voice or see their face, but you feel their presence as surely as if they were standing beside you, their joy warming you, their sorrow weighing on your heart. Energy, after all, is not bound by physical space. It flows freely, weaving an unseen web of connection between those whose souls are deeply linked. Perhaps you have felt restless for no reason, only to later discover that someone close to you was struggling at that exact moment. Or maybe you've been suddenly overcome by a sense of peace, later finding out that they had just resolved something heavy in their life. These moments are not mere coincidences. They are spiritual fingerprints, evidence of a shared energetic field where emotions ripple back and forth like waves between two shores. Modern science might point to mirror neurons or subtle subconscious cues to explain this, but there is a deeper truth that science cannot measure. When two souls are connected, they share an invisible channel where energy, feelings, and even unspoken words pass effortlessly. Such experiences are often brushed aside in the noise of modern life. We call them stress, fatigue, or even hormonal shifts, because logic struggles to accept what the spirit already knows. But if you pay close attention and see that these energetic shifts happen most often in connection with the same person, you begin to recognize the pattern. The soul speaks through feeling long before it speaks through words, and spiritual connections often reveal themselves not in what is said, but in what is felt. Ancient wisdom has always taught that energy is the first language of the soul. And if you learn to listen, you will begin to notice these silent conversations everywhere. So the next time your heart suddenly races, your spirit feels inexplicably lighter, or a strong urge compels you to reach out, pause, and ask yourself, whose energy am I touching right now? It may be that, at this very moment, another soul is thinking of you, sending waves of emotion that your spirit cannot help but receive. And in recognizing this, you open yourself to a richer, more conscious way of living, one that honors the unseen threads binding human hearts, where every shift in feeling may be a whisper from a soul forever connected to yours. 4. Coincidences that aren't coincidences. You might be walking through a store when a familiar melody begins to play the song that once belonged to both of you, carrying with it memories so vivid you can almost feel the past wrap itself around you. Or perhaps you glance up and see their name, not because they messaged you, but because it appeared unexpectedly in an article, a movie, or painted on the side of a passing bus. Sometimes the sign is subtler, a shared symbol, maybe an animal you once encountered together in a moment that mattered, appearing again just as they cross your mind. According to Carl Jung, these are not accidents, but moments of synchronicity where the inner world of the soul and the outer world of events align in perfect, meaningful timing. These moments are the unconscious mirroring the connection between you, signals that travel beyond logic, carried in the silent language of the psyche, where emotion and energy speak louder than words. When two souls share a profound, emotional, spiritual, or energetic bond, their inner worlds become woven together in ways unseen. You might not hear their voice or see their face, but you feel the pull like two instruments tuned to the same pitch, resonating in harmony across space and time. It is as if the soul has its own hidden senses, attuned to signs that bypass the mind and land directly in the heart. These moments arrive without warning, often when you are least expecting them, yet their timing feels too precise, their meaning too personal, and their impact too strong to be dismissed as coincidence. In those seconds, you are not merely thinking of someone. You are touching the invisible thread that connects you. The external triggers of the song, the name, the symbol, are the universe's way of saying, "This is real. Pay attention." The more open you are to noticing these moments, the more they seem to appear, as if awareness itself draws them to you. This connection is not bound by time, distance, or silence. It is alive and moving, breathing between you, seeking ways to make itself known. The soul recognizes before the mind understands, and these signs are its way of speaking. You do not need to chase them or overanalyze them. Instead, let them settle into you. Feel their weight, their intimacy, the way they seem to open a doorway between the seen and the unseen. As Jung reminded us, synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. In that moment, you are meeting them not in the physical world, but in the quiet corridors of the soul, where time bends, distance disappears, and only the silent language of the heart remains. Stay connected with our spiritual wisdom community by subscribing to the channel. Here, we explore the deep connections between souls and the unseen patterns that guide our lives. Remember, your soul is worthy of the love, synchronicity, and abundance the universe is weaving for you. 5. Shared dreams and dream symbolism. Carl Jung understood dreams as the sacred language of the unconscious, a bridge between the visible and invisible worlds of the soul. When two souls think of each other at the same moment, one of the most striking signs of that connection is found in shared dreams, or eerily similar dream symbolism. When you dream of someone, and around the same time, they dream of you, it is rarely a meaningless coincidence. These vivid or recurring dreams are not random fragments of a resting mind. They are meetings of two unconscious worlds, weaving symbols and emotions into a tapestry that reveals unresolved bonds, mirrored feelings, or parallel paths of growth. Jung called this the work of projections of parts of ourselves reflected in another, serving as an unconscious call for understanding, integration, and healing. Such moments appear in everyday life in ways that defy logic. You might wake from a dream of walking with an old friend through a familiar place from years past, only to find a message from them saying they dreamed of you too. Lovers separated by distance might both dream of raging seas, flooded rooms, or sudden storms during a period of emotional strain, symbols of inner turbulence that emerge in unspoken harmony. These moments are evidence of a deep psychic link, a frequency one soul sends and the other receives, translated by the unconscious into images that bypass the need for words. Jung's teachings reveal that dreams speak in archetypes, universal symbols like the shadow, the anima or animus, the wise guide, or the heroic traveler. When two people share these archetypes in their dreams, it often means their inner journeys are aligned, their souls walking parallel roads through similar lessons. A locked door may appear to both, representing guarded emotions yet to be opened. A bird in flight may speak of a shared longing for liberation. A candle burning in darkness may carry the same quiet hope for each. These images rise from the collective unconscious, the shared reservoir of human experience, where all souls are connected beyond time and distance. In a world dominated by constant distractions and fragmented attention, dreams remain a pure and untouched realm where the soul can speak without interference. They are not bound by the ticking of clocks, the glow of screens, or the noise of social media. In some cases, shared dreams even become lucid, allowing both dreamers to meet and interact with awareness, leaving behind a feeling upon waking as if they truly spent time together and in the language of the unconscious, they have. To dismiss shared dreams as fantasy is to overlook their depth and purpose. They are messengers, guiding you toward greater self-awareness, offering glimpses into the unseen bonds shaping your life, and reminding you of the forces moving beneath the surface. The symbols, emotions, and patterns they carry are not random. They are part of a larger design, a quiet call to pay attention. As Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Shared dreams are one of the ways fate speaks, inviting you to honor the invisible threads between souls and to step more fully into the path of wholeness that your unconscious has been guiding you toward all along. 6. Physical and emotional energy signs. You could be in the middle of the most ordinary moment, pouring yourself a cup of coffee, scrolling through your phone, or walking down the street when something unusual stirs within you. A wave of goosebumps runs along your arms, a subtle tightening fills your chest, or a fluttering sensation dances in your stomach like delicate wings brushing against your skin. These aren't just random physical quirks. They are the body's way of tuning into an invisible spiritual frequency. Carl Jung, the pioneer of analytical psychology, spoke of the profound transformations that occur when two people connect on a deep level, comparing it to the meeting of two chemical substances. If there's a reaction, both are changed forever. When two souls think of each other at the same moment, this reaction doesn't just happen in the mind. It reverberates through the body in ways that are impossible to ignore. Your body is far more than flesh and bone. It's a finely tuned instrument, sensitive to the unseen vibrations of the world. Sometimes, when someone you share a deep emotional or soul bond with is thinking about you, it's as though their thoughts send out an energetic pulse that your being instantly recognizes. The goosebumps might be the trace of their presence brushing against your aura. The sudden heaviness in your chest could be the weight of their longing, love, or worry reaching you across space. You may even see their face flash in your mind's eye, so vividly that it feels like you've been pulled into a shared dream while fully awake. And something deep within whispers, they're thinking of you right now. From a spiritual perspective, these moments are far from coincidental. They're threads of connection woven through the fabric of time and space. Jung called this synchronicity, a meaningful alignment of inner and outer events that transcends rational explanation. And in the sacred realm of love, friendship, or deep human bonds, this synchronicity often bypasses words entirely, speaking instead through the body's subtle language. Picture yourself at work, buried in tasks, when suddenly a warm wave washes over you, bringing with it an unexplainable sense of peace. Out of nowhere, you think of someone dear to you, their image rising in your mind like the sun breaking through clouds. Moments later, your phone buzzes. It's a message from them. It's as if two radios were tuned to the same frequency, and the moment one sent out a signal, the other received it instantly, no matter the physical distance. This is why learning to notice and trust these physical and emotional cues is so powerful. The more spiritually aware you become, the more you'll realize that your body is an antenna for unseen connections, translating energetic whispers into sensations you can feel. An unexplained surge of joy, a sudden pang of sadness, or a deep calm may not belong entirely to you. It may be your soul responding to the attention of another. So when you feel those goosebumps rise, when your heart quickens for no apparent reason, pause and listen. Ask yourself, whose presence just brushed against yours in the invisible space between thoughts? In that moment, you may not hear their voice, yet you are already speaking in the oldest language of all soul to soul, where every heartbeat, every sensation, carries a message across the distance. Do you feel these signs in your body and heart? If you do, declare it with confidence in the comments. My soul feels the connection, and I believe. 7. Recurring synchronicities in the environment. When certain patterns keep showing up around you, it's often the soul's way of telling you that a connection is alive on both sides. You might start noticing the same numbers appearing everywhere. The clock reads 11:11. A receipt total matches their birthday, or a license plate flashes a familiar date, and each time it feels like more than coincidence. Carl Jung saw these as synchronicities, meaningful alignments that reveal an unseen link between two lives. The same thing can happen with music. A song tied to them in your memory seems to follow you, playing in a cafe, on the radio, or from a passing car, carrying you instantly back to a shared moment. These recurring melodies are emotional signals, a reminder that your thoughts may be meeting theirs at that exact time. Sometimes it's places that pull you in. A cafe you visited together suddenly becomes part of your weekly path. Or you keep finding yourself in locations that echo something about them, whether it's the architecture of a street or the atmosphere of a park. Even new places can feel strangely familiar if your shared energy has marked them deep in your subconscious. Symbols, too, can become signposts. A particular animal, image, or object that holds meaning between you keeps showing up in dreams, social media posts, or random encounters. Jung believed the unconscious mind speaks in symbols, and when they repeat, it's as if both your souls are speaking the same secret language. These signs are not here to confuse you, but to invite awareness. They're gentle reminders that the bond is not just emotional, but spiritual, existing beyond physical distance or direct communication. When numbers, songs, places, and symbols return again and again, they are threads in an invisible tapestry, proof that something deeper is happening beneath the surface, that two souls can remain present in each other's lives without a single word being spoken. 8. Feeling their presence from afar. A deep emotional bond between two people can create an extraordinary phenomenon, what Carl Jung described as a subtle expression of the unconscious through synchronicity, where you can feel the other person's presence even when they are far away. It is not a fleeting thought or a product of wishful thinking, but a real and tangible sensation that rises from within, as if your body itself remembers them. This body memory holds the imprint of their voice, their touch, their energy, and their presence, stored deep in your nervous system. Even without a phone call, a message, or any physical sign, you may suddenly feel a wave of warmth, comfort, or even a stirring in your chest, as though they are standing right beside you. Psychologists call it unconscious projection, but to those who have experienced it, it is something far more intimate and undeniable knowing. Carl Jung believed that the psyche moves beyond the boundaries of space and time, allowing emotional and spiritual bonds to remain alive regardless of physical distance. This is why you might suddenly sense someone's sadness before they've told you, or feel peaceful at the exact moment they are thinking of you. In our modern world, this connection can appear in subtle ways. Perhaps you're busy working, and the thought of them drifts into your mind out of nowhere, only for a notification from them to appear seconds later. These moments are not mere coincidence. They are the invisible threads of a shared emotional field, an energetic attunement that distance cannot sever. There's a story of a woman in New York whose partner was working overseas. Separated by thousands of miles and different time zones, they hadn't spoken all day. One afternoon, while strolling through Central Park, she was suddenly overcome by a feeling so vivid it was as if he was walking beside her, their hands brushing. That night, she received a message from him saying he had been sitting by the ocean, thinking about their first walk together in that very park. Their bodies, hearts, and minds had aligned across continents, meeting in a moment that existed outside of logic, yet felt truer than anything. Feeling someone's presence from afar is proof that deep human connection transcends geography. It teaches that relationships built on trust, love, and emotional depth carry an energy that lingers, wrapping around you even in silence. Such moments are reminders to listen to your intuition, to trust the sensations that rise unbidden from within, and to honor the invisible yet powerful forces that bind souls together. In the words of Carl Jung, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. And when the reaction is strong enough, it can be felt across oceans, across time zones, and across the unseen distance between two hearts that remain tuned to the same quiet frequency. Have you ever felt someone's presence, even when they were miles away? If so, share your story in the comments so we can all connect through these soul experiences. If not, comment, "I'm open to feeling it," and let's explore this beautiful connection together. 9. Simultaneous mood or behavior changes. You can be moving through your day, feeling completely steady, when suddenly an unexplained wave of emotion sweeps over you, perhaps a rush of joy, a heaviness in your chest, or a sudden ache in your heart. And later, you discover that the very person who lives in your thoughts was experiencing that exact same feeling at the same moment. This is rarely just coincidence. It is often the quiet proof of a deep spiritual connection that moves beyond logic and distance. Carl Jung once said, "Synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see." And in moments like these, the truth of his words becomes undeniable. Two souls with a shared energetic link are like two strings on the same instrument. Touch one, and the other vibrates in harmony no matter how far apart they are. Your mood shifts without warning, reflecting theirs. You feel light and hopeful when they're filled with joy, and you sense an invisible cloud when they're troubled. This isn't merely empathy. It is a resonance of spirit, a transmission of energy flowing beneath conscious awareness. You might be at work, focused on a routine task, when an unshakable sadness rises within you, leaving you puzzled, only to later receive a message from them, revealing that they were going through something painful at that exact time. The same happens with joy. A sudden laugh, a spark of inspiration, or a calm peace can wash over you, later revealed to be shared with them in that moment. When this happens over and over, it stops feeling like coincidence and begins to reveal the subtle design of a spiritual bond. Two souls intertwined in this way, whether through love, destiny, or a shared past, often move in emotional sync without effort or intention. It is as if your hearts speak in a silent language, transmitting and receiving signals no one else can hear. In scientific terms, it may echo quantum entanglement, where two particles affect each other instantly across distance. But in human terms, it is the unspoken language of the soul. Such a bond can be both a blessing and a challenge. You share not only the sweetness of their joy, but also the weight of their pain. It asks for awareness and grounding, so you are not swept away by emotions that may not even be your own. Yet, when embraced with understanding, this connection can create a depth of intimacy that words could never reach. As Rumi said, lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. To feel their mood shift within your own is to live in the constant knowing that your spirits are moving together, guided by an invisible thread that weaves through time, space, and the quiet places of the heart. 10. Silence that feels full, not empty. Even when no words are spoken and no messages are exchanged, the silence between two souls can feel charged, as though it carries a living pulse of unspoken emotions, memories, and understanding. It is not the awkward emptiness of strangers, but a stillness so full that it feels almost tangible, as if the air between you is saturated with meaning. Every pause holds the weight of shared history. Every moment of quiet seems to hum with the presence of the other, and without any sound, your hearts communicate in a language far older and more profound than speech. In these moments, you are not searching for something to say, because the connection itself is speaking, bridging any distance in a way that is felt rather than heard. This kind of silence can arrive without warning. You might be going about your day when a sudden heaviness, warmth, or wave of emotion washes over you, and deep within, you know they are thinking of you too. It is as if their soul has reached across space to brush against yours, awakening an unspoken dialogue that words could never capture. Such moments feel sacred, like a prayer that does not need to be uttered, only felt. Time seems to pause, honoring the invisible thread that ties you together, reminding you that even in absence, your bond remains alive and strong. In a world full of constant noise and distraction, this quiet is a rare gift. It is the kind of silence in which you could sit side by side for hours without speaking, yet leave feeling more deeply understood than after countless conversations. Within it lies everything that could be said, the apologies never voiced, the love never fully expressed, the longing carried in the heart, and the mutual recognition of what you mean to one another. Carl Jung's concept of synchronicity is at work here, for this profound stillness often occurs when both souls are thinking of each other at the exact same moment. The energies meet in an unseen realm, creating a resonance that is impossible to explain through logic, yet undeniable in experience. In this way, silence is not the absence of communication, but the purest form of it, where hearts speak in a spiritual language only they can understand, affirming that your connection is not bound by sound, but by something far deeper, unshakable, and eternal. If this sign resonates with you, leave a like, subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss insights like this. Comment below. Our silence speaks volumes to affirm your soul connection And so, while the mysteries of synchronicity may never be fully explained, perhaps that's part of their magic, the way they quietly remind us that the soul often speaks in a language beyond logic. These moments, when two hearts align in thought at the very same instant, are like whispers from the universe, inviting us to trust the invisible threads that connect us. If this message has touched you, please like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos filled with insight, inspiration, and soul connection. Carl Jung explains why. When someone is your destiny, you will know. When you meet someone who changes the course of your life, it's never by accident. Carl Jung believed that some connections are written deep into the fabric of our destiny, waiting for the moment when our soul is ready to recognize them. These encounters, whether romantic, platonic, or even fleeting, can awaken parts of you that you didn't know existed and lead you closer to your true self. As you watch this video, I encourage you to reflect on the people who have crossed your path and consider how they've shaped your growth and happiness. Have you ever met someone and just knew they were meant to be in your life? Share your experience in the comments below, and let's explore together how recognizing these destined connections can transform our lives. 1. Meaningful connections are not coincidences. Carl Jung believed that meaningful connections are never accidents, but are born from synchronicity, those rare and profound coincidences that speak directly to the soul. They occur when the outer world aligns perfectly with the inner world, when the people we meet mirror our deepest needs, desires, and truths, even those hidden in the unconscious. These encounters feel different from ordinary meetings. There's a silent recognition, an unshakable sense that you've known this person before, even if your mind cannot explain why. This is because the soul remembers what the mind has yet to discover. It carries the memory of bonds formed long before this moment in time. Such connections often arrive at pivotal moments, when life is quietly shifting and you are on the edge of change. You might cross paths with someone during a period of doubt, and their words hold the exact answer you didn't know you were seeking. You might meet a stranger whose energy feels like home, or reconnect with someone from the past, just as you're ready to see them and yourself through new eyes. In Jung's view, these are not random intersections, but precise alignments orchestrated by the unconscious and the universe. Each person who feels like destiny has been drawn into your orbit for a reason: to help you grow, to heal, to awaken a truth you could not reach alone. When this happens, the recognition is not just mental, it's physical, emotional, and spiritual all at once. There is an ease in the connection, as if conversation flows without effort, or a magnetic intensity that both excites and unsettles you. This is because they reflect something essential within you, acting as a mirror to your own light and shadow. Jung believed this mirroring is a sacred teacher, revealing the parts of yourself that must be embraced, integrated, or transformed. And sometimes, these reflections are not gentle. They can arrive as challenges that stir old wounds, ignite hidden desires, or force you to confront aspects of yourself you've avoided. But even the difficult connections serve the soul, because the soul does not seek only comfort, it seeks wholeness. Every soul-aligned connection leaves a mark. Whether the person stays for a lifetime or only a brief chapter, they shift the course of your journey. Some connections bring peace, others spark change, but all are part of a greater design, an unseen network of threads weaving together your experiences, lessons, and growth. These moments of meeting are like signposts, quietly confirming that you are moving in harmony with your deeper truth. And when they happen, you don't need proof or explanation, because somewhere deep inside, you already understand. The meeting itself is the message, and when someone is your destiny, you will simply know. Are you ready to welcome the meaningful connections life is sending your way? If so, comment below. I trust synchronicity to declare your openness to the people and moments destined to find you. 2. Not all intense connections are meant to last. Not every powerful connection is meant to stay in your life forever, because the soul's path is not always about comfort, it is about growth. Carl Jung's insights reveal that the unconscious often draws us toward people who awaken our deepest wounds, not to harm us, but to push us toward healing and transformation. You may meet someone who feels like the missing piece of your soul, only to realize later that the bond is tangled with challenges, misunderstandings, and even heartbreak. This is not a coincidence. The psyche uses relationships as mirrors, reflecting the patterns you carry from childhood, past relationships, or even lifetimes before this one. When you notice the same emotional triggers, the same conflicts, and the same disappointments repeating over and over, it is not the universe punishing you. It is your inner world asking for your attention, urging you to face and heal what has been long ignored. In the modern world, many people find themselves in cycles where they keep attracting the same type of partner, someone emotionally unavailable, controlling, or quick to pull away when true closeness begins. It feels like misfortune, but as Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. The truth is, these patterns are magnetic because the unconscious recognizes a familiar emotional dynamic, even if it causes pain. That familiarity is not love. It is a signal that your soul is seeking resolution. Growth rarely comes from ease. The people who challenge you, who stir your insecurities, who force buried emotions to the surface, are often the very ones who give you the opportunity to break free from your old self and step into a stronger, more self-aware version of you. A woman I know once shared about her career mentor, who seemed like the perfect guide, wise, experienced, and supportive. Over time, she began noticing subtle jabs that made her doubt herself. She felt conflicted, grateful for the guidance, yet emotionally drained by the criticism. It wasn't until she stepped back that she realized the relationship mirrored her childhood with a father who was never satisfied with her achievements. Her unconscious had drawn her to this mentor to give her the chance to confront her old wounds, reclaim her self-worth, and finally break free from the need to seek approval from those who would never offer it unconditionally. Some connections are not meant to be lifelong loves or unbreakable bonds. They are sacred assignments. They come to awaken you, shake you, and prepare you for something far more aligned with your true destiny. The soul understands that before you can unite with someone who is meant to walk beside you for the long haul, you must first clear the emotional debris left by your past. These relationships, no matter how brief or painful, serve a profound purpose. They push you towards self-awareness, self-respect, and emotional freedom. When you take the lesson instead of clinging to the connection, you move closer to a love that is not just intense, but steady, kind, and safe. The one who is truly meant for you will not only stir your soul, they will honor your healing and help you protect the peace you fought so hard to create. 3. Self-awareness is the key to recognizing the right person. They say, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And when it comes to love and meaningful connection, nothing could be truer. Self-awareness is not just a spiritual ideal. It is the very foundation that allows you to recognize when someone is truly meant for you. Without it, life repeats the same lesson, presenting you with different faces and names, yet pulling you into the same emotional patterns. You may meet someone and feel an intense, magnetic connection that seems fated, but soon you find yourself trapped in familiar cycles of disappointment, conflict, or emptiness. This is not destiny. It is your unhealed self, unconsciously drawn to what is familiar, even when it is harmful. As Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. When you take the time to truly understand your wounds, fears, patterns, and needs, you stop mistaking unhealthy intensity for soulful alignment. You begin to see the difference between someone who fuels your chaos and someone who nurtures your growth. This is the essence of spiritual maturity, the ability to discern not only with your heart, but with your entire being. When you heal, you raise your vibration, and that shift naturally draws in people whose energy matches your own. Wholeness attracts wholeness, and inner peace calls in those who bring peace, not turmoil. Life mirrors your inner world. If your relationships reflect distrust, instability, or pain, it's a sign that the healing must begin within. But when you live with self-respect, clarity, and emotional balance, the reflection changes. You attract those who respect you, who truly see you, and who wish to grow beside you. Some connections feel effortless and deeply nourishing, not because of luck or coincidence, but because you have done the inner work to be ready for them. Spiritual wisdom reminds us that destiny is not only about timing, it is about readiness. The universe may send you the right person, but if you are not whole within yourself, you may fail to recognize them or even push them away. The right connection often comes with a calm excitement, a deep sense of safety mixed with aliveness. It is not the dizzying high of emotional chaos. It is the steady warmth of recognition at the soul level. You know, because they do not complete you. They meet you exactly where you are, whole, aware, and ready. The right person will not come to repair what is broken. They will walk beside you on a path you have already begun within yourself. When you understand this, you stop chasing fleeting sparks and start embracing the slow, steady fire of a connection that was always meant to be. Subscribe now for more insights on mastering self-awareness and attracting the healthy, aligned connections your soul truly deserves. 4. Beware of projection. Beware of projection, because what captivates you in another person may not truly belong to them. It may be a hidden part of your own soul calling out to be seen. Carl Jung taught that the traits we admire or even idealize in others are often disowned fragments of ourselves, cast into the shadows of the unconscious through through years of conditioning, hurt, or self-denial. When we encounter someone who carries the mirror to those forgotten qualities, it can feel like an electric recognition, a rush of certainty that this must be destiny. But such certainty can be fragile, because it is not always rooted in reality. It is often the pull of our own unhealed longing disguised as fate. The danger of projection lies in its seduction. It paints the other person with the colors of our unmet desires, turning them into a canvas for everything we wish we could be or feel. We might believe we have found the missing half of our soul, yet in truth, we are meeting a reflection of the parts we have yet to reclaim within ourselves. As Jung observed, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Left unchecked, projection can lead to disappointment, because no human being can live up to an image born of our inner exile. The work, then, is to retrieve those lost pieces of the soul before deciding someone is our destiny. This means turning inward, confronting the shadow, and integrating what we have denied our courage, tenderness, creativity, or wisdom until we no longer need to borrow it from another. When we do this, the haze lifts, and we can see people as they are, not as the saviors of our imagined completion. True soul connections are not built on dependency. They are grounded in mutual wholeness. A person who is truly meant for you will not feel like an escape from yourself, but an expansion of who you already are. There will be no frantic grasping, no desperate fear of losing them, because the bond rests on truth, not illusion. The connection will feel steady, calm, and deeply rooted, as if both souls recognize each other without needing to cling for survival. It is not about being completed, but about walking together as two complete beings, each honoring the other's path. When you meet such a person, the recognition is quiet but undeniable, a deep resonance that hums in the core of your being. You will not mistake it for the high of infatuation, because it will not depend on constant validation or fantasy. Instead, it will be the meeting of two souls who see and accept each other as they truly are, free from the distorting lens of projection. And in that clarity, you will know not because of a rush of emotion, but because of the unshakable truth that your soul has found a companion for the journey. 5. True connection feels calm and grounding. True connection feels calm and grounding. It brings peace, not confusion. Safety, not anxiety. The right person's presence allows you to be fully yourself without shrinking, pretending, or performing. You can breathe easily around them, speak without overthinking, and exist without fear of judgment. As Carl Jung taught, the unconscious mind often recognizes the truth of a connection long before the conscious mind catches up, sensing an alignment of energy and soul that words can barely describe. This is why, in their presence, you feel an unshakable ease, not because nothing matters, but because you are accepted exactly as you are. In everyday life, it's easy to confuse intensity with intimacy. Many chase relationships that give them butterflies, believing that the rush means love. But often, those butterflies are a sign of anxiety, not alignment. The right connection does not keep you guessing or walking on eggshells. It quiets the noise inside you. It doesn't demand you to prove your worth or earn your place. It simply holds space for your true self to breathe and grow. Instead of drama, there is steady warmth. Instead of unpredictable highs and lows, there is a deep and constant flame. A friend once told me about her shift in understanding love. For years, she found herself in relationships that were thrilling at first, but exhausting in the long run. Arguments, uncertainty, emotional whiplash. She thought the chaos was passion, until she met someone who simply made her feel safe. There were no games, no constant tests, no pressure to be perfect. She said, "For the first time, I don't feel like I have to fight for love. I can just be me." That's the peace Jung referred to, the kind that transforms you not through grand gestures, but through consistent presence and genuine care. The truth is, your soul always knows when a connection is real. You might not be able to explain why, but you'll feel it in the steadiness of your heartbeat and the calm in your mind. With the right person, silence is not awkward. It's comforting. You don't have to perform to be valued, and you don't fear that your truth will push them away. These are the connections that nourish you, the ones that allow you to expand into your fullest self. When you stop chasing the chaos of temporary excitement and start choosing the peace of genuine alignment, you step into relationships that honor both your heart and your soul. And that is when you truly know. Comment: I agree. If you believe true connection should feel peaceful and safe. Or, I don't think so, if your experience has been different. 6. Letting go of the wrong connection is essential. Many people unknowingly block the right person from entering their life by clinging to relationships that drain their spirit, harm their peace, and pull them away from who they truly are. Holding on to the wrong connection traps you in an endless cycle of false hope, keeping your soul tied to what was never meant for you. As Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." When you keep feeding a bond that no longer nurtures you, you are essentially telling the universe that you are willing to settle for less than what you deserve. Letting go is not just an emotional decision, it is a spiritual act of alignment. Imagine your heart as a sacred home. If every room is filled with clutter, there is no space for beauty, peace, or love to enter. By releasing what is wrong, you create a clear, open space for the right connection to find you naturally. It is much like a gardener pruning away dead branches, not to harm the tree, but to help it flourish. In the same way, removing a toxic connection allows you to grow, heal, and prepare for the person who truly matches your soul's frequency. When the right person arrives, you won't have to force it, overthink it, or beg for it to work. You will feel it deep in your spirit, a quiet knowing, a peaceful recognition, as if your souls have met before. This is not born of desperation, but of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences Jung spoke about, where everything aligns effortlessly because it was always meant to be. Spiritual growth is not about collecting more people or more experiences. It is about removing what no longer serves your highest good, trusting that the universe will fill the space with something better. Clinging to the wrong connection delays your destiny, while letting go signals to life that you are ready for what is truly yours. Even if the process feels uncomfortable or lonely, trust that endings are often sacred beginnings in disguise. The universe does not take away without the intention to replace it with something greater, something more aligned, something real. Letting go is not a loss. It is the ultimate act of faith, a declaration that you believe what is meant for you will always find you. And when it does, you will know without a single doubt that it is your destiny. 7. Becoming the right person comes first. Carl Jung believed that before destiny can bring the right person into your life, you must first become the right person yourself. This is not about molding yourself into someone else's expectations, but about peeling away every false layer you've worn to please others, every role you've performed to feel accepted, until only your raw, unshakable truth remains. Too many people rush to ask, "Is this person right for me?" without stopping to ask, "Am I being true to myself?" Because if you are not living in harmony with your soul, you will not even recognize the one who is meant for you when they appear. Your soul can only attract what it already embodies. When your inner life is aligned, your values, your desires, and your actions flowing in the same direction, you naturally emit a kind of energy that calls to those who are meant to walk beside you. It is like music playing on a hidden frequency. Only the right people will hear it, and when they do, they will feel drawn to you without explanation. Jung taught that the unconscious mind quietly shapes the reality we experience, including the relationships we attract. If your inner world is clouded by self-doubt, fear, or unresolved wounds, it will draw in people who reflect that chaos, not those who can meet you in truth. But when your soul becomes whole, when the conflicts between who you are and who you pretend to be dissolve, your presence changes, and so does the quality of the connections you create. You no longer chase. Instead, you simply stand in the fullness of who you are, and the people who belong in your life will recognize you instantly, almost as if they have been searching for you too. Meeting them will feel like remembering, like turning the dial on a radio until the signal comes through in perfect clarity. You are the dial, and the more finely you tune yourself, the more undeniable the connection will be when it happens. The right person will never need you to shrink, compromise your truth, or disguise your essence to keep them close. They will meet you exactly as you are, because that is the version of you they were meant to find. And when this happens, you will know not through dramatic words or fleeting excitement, but through a deep, silent certainty in your soul. It will feel as though you've been speaking the same unspoken language across lifetimes, and now, at last, you understand each other without effort. The journey, you'll realize, was never truly about finding them. It was about becoming so authentically yourself that your souls could finally meet without hesitation, confusion, or disguise. That is the true power of becoming the right person. First, you turn your very existence into a beacon, a signal that guides the right people home to you, not through force, but through the undeniable pull of destiny. To affirm your commitment to living as your authentic self, declare it now. Comment below, "I am true to myself," to honor your journey and inspire others to embrace their own authenticity. In the end, destiny is never forced, and when the right person enters your life, the connection will speak louder than words. It won't be confusion or doubt. It will be a quiet, unshakable knowing deep within your soul. As Carl Jung taught, what is meant for you will align naturally with your inner truth, without you having to chase or prove it. Trust that the universe has its own perfect timing, and when it happens, you will simply know. If this message resonated with you, please like this video. Share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos filled with soulful insights and inspiration.